Hey guys, I'm so glad to see you to come to join me on this brand new video. It's Kid Bowman here, as of you quite already seen me before on the previous video. This time for you quite new. My name is Kid Bowman Boway. I'm so glad you can come back to join me on this brand new video. You guys have been amazing. I really appreciate your support with privilege and honour. And thank you ever so much to subscribe to my channel and writing comments. It was absolute fab for you guys. So on this video, on the 7th video of Read Aloud, I'll be doing another classic Disney stories. Now I'll be going to read is Lady and the Tramp. Are you familiar with Lady and the Tramp? I think I'm quite slightly a bit familiar. This classic Disney animated film. I think it's 1955. It appears, you can see the logo of that book. That's Disney Wonderful World of Reading. Yeah, okay, so shall I begin to read to you guys? Oh, if you want to what you can down below, you're always welcome. That'd be really fab. Okay, shall we read to you guys? Jim Dear and his wife, Darling, were celebrating Christmas Eve. Here, darling, he said, handing her a pretty box. Darling untied the ribbon and out popped the most adorable cocker spaniel puppy she had ever seen. I love her, Darling exclaimed happily. She's a perfect little lady. When Lady was 6 months old, Darling and Jim Dale gave her a brand new collar and name tag. How fine you look in your new collar, Lady, Darling said. That night, as usual, Jim Dear tucked Lady into their very own basket. Lady was a princess of a household. Jim Dear and Darling loved to pamper her. They gave her special treats from her table, and they always found time to play with her. Lady was sure that she was the luckiest dog in the whole wide world. But as spring blossomed into summer, Jim Dear and Darling began to play with Lady less and less. Now they spent most of her time talking about someone named Baby. Who's this baby? Lady asked herself. The baby's nothing but a bundle of trouble, said a husky voice. Lady whirled round to see who it was speaking. It was a scruffy-looking dog she had never seen before. Why, he wasn't even wearing a collar. By the way, bitch, he said, my name is Tramp. What's yours? I'm sorry, replied Lady, but I never speak to strangers. Suit yourself, said Tramp, but mark my words. He called out as he trotted away. When the baby moves in, the dog moves out. A short time later, Lady heard new sounds coming from the master bedroom. Soft calling sounds. Come in, Lady, Darling said gently. There's someone I'd like you to meet. So this is what a baby looks like, thought Lady, wagging her tail happily. He's not awful at all. Why, he is almost sweet as a puppy. Soon, life in Lady's household had almost returned to normal. But one day, a stern-looking woman barged through the front door carrying a suitcase and a big basket. "We are going away for a few days," Danny explained to Lady, "and we are counting on you to take care of a baby. Aunt Sarah here. He's come to help you." Two pair of blue eyes stared at Lady from a basket. "I wonder what she has in there," said Lady. She soon find out. The eyes belong to Aunt Sarah's cats, Shy and Am. The cats hopped out of the basket and laid them at home. "We are Sammys, if you please." "We are Sammys, if you don't please," they hissed. Lady got the feeling that she and Am didn't like her, and for some reason, Aunt Sarah didn't seem too friendly either. Lady watched sadly as Darlene and Jim Dale walked out the door. "Oh, please don't leave me here alone," she said softly. Aunt Sarah went upstairs to check on the baby. As soon as the mischievous cats saw her leave, they began to turn the house upside down. "Stop that!" Lady barked angrily. She really had her paws full trying to keep the goldfish and the Karen leaf safe from harm. When Aunt Sarah saw the terrible mess, she was sure it was old Lady's fault. "You naughty dog!" Aunt Sarah scolded as she chased Lady from the house with a broom. Poor Lady! She had never been so insulted in her own life. Upset, she walked out of the yard. Lady didn't pay attention to where she was going, just as long as it was as far from Aunt Sarah as possible. It wasn't long before Lady found herself on the other side of the town. She was far from her home, and very well-mannered dogs who were her friends. Suddenly, Lady heard the angry growls of a pack of vicious dogs. To her surprise, they began to chase her, but before they could harm Lady, Tramp showed up to save the day. "Why don't you pick on someone on your size instead of bothering the lady?" Tramp shouted at the pack of dogs. Tramp fought like a tiger, and he was free. Those bullies couldn't run away fast enough. Lady thanked Tramp for rescuing her. Then she told him all about her troubles with Aunt Sarah and wicked cats. Poor pitched, said Tramp. "How nice about hot meal to cheer you up," he suggested. He brought Lady to the best Italian restaurant in town. "What a nice surprise!" cried Tony, the chef. When Tramp appeared at the back door. Tony was so delighted to see Tramp with such a lovely lady that he brought out a big plate of spaghetti and meatballs for the dogs to share. He even serenaded them with his accordion. "This is wonderful," Lady said to herself. She gasped fondly at Tramp. He's not so bad after all, even if he doesn't have a good collar. After dinner, Tramp took Lady for a romantic stroll through the park. That night, the two dogs fell asleep under the full moon. "Oh dear," cried Lady. "The next morning I should have been home hours ago." "Oh, I forgot the rules for once," replied Tramp. "There's a whole big world out there for us to explore." "But who will watch over the baby?" asked Lady. "You'll win," said Tramp. "I'll take you home." The work was quite pleasant until Tramp spotted a hen house. His eyes lit up at once. "Chickens!" he cried. "Ever just chickens?" "Pidge, it's fun." Before Lady could stop him, Tramp ran into the midst of the clucking hens. "Stop!" shouted Lady. But Tramp was having too much fun to stop, until the owner of a hen house called the dog catcher. "Run, Lady, run!" called Tramp as he sped away. He thought Lady was right behind him, but Lady wasn't fast enough. As she rounded a corner, the dog catcher nabbed her and threw her into his wagon. Tramp had no idea what had happened to her. Before she knew it, Lady was behind bars at the city pound. She was so ashamed. "What are you in here for, sweetheart?" laughed the bulldog. "Putting fleas on the butler?" Luckily, a kind dog named Boris told Lady that she had nothing to fear. "Dogs with the name tags never stay here alone," he explained. Sure enough, early in the morning, one of the guards came for Lady and took her home. But Aunt Sarah was still upset, so she chained Lady outside. So Tramp, who had been searching for Lady all night, came prancing into her yard. "Pidge," he exclaimed happily, "I haven't been so worried." "Don't call me Pidge," snapped Lady. "This is all your fault. I never want to see you again." Lady felt sad and lonely. She had promised Darling that she would protect the baby, but how could she do her job if she was chained up outside? Soon it was dark. Lady tossed and turned, but she could not fall asleep. Suddenly she noticed something moving. It was a huge rat. It was heading straight for the house. Lady watched in terror as the rat climbed to the roof and through the baby's window. "Woof, woof!" she cried. Tramp came running when he heard her bark. "A rat!" cried Lady. In the baby's room, Tramp rushed into the house. Lady managed to break her chain and followed him. Together, they ran to the baby's room. Tramp quickly pounced on the rat, and they began to fight. Tramp and the rat rolled around on the floor, knocking over lamps and chairs. Finally, though, Tramp won. "Wah, wah, wah," wailed the baby, who was frightened by all the noise. Aunt Sarah was awakened by the baby's cries. "Shoo!" she cried. "Get back, you brute! Down to the collar with you!" Aunt Sarah wasted no time in calling the dog catcher, and for the first time in his life, Tramp found himself on his way to the pound. Lady watched sadly as a wagon pulled away. Just then, Jim, Dear, and Darling arrived home. "What's going on?" asked Jim Dale. "I found a stray dog in the baby's room," explained Aunt Sally. "And your dog here was right beside him." With that, Lady began to bark and headed up the stairs. "Stop her!" squealed Aunt Sarah. "She'll hurt the baby." "Nonsense," Jim Dale replied. "She was trying to tell us something." Lady led them to the dead rat that lay hidden behind a chair in the baby's room. "Merciful heavens!" exclaimed Aunt Sarah. "Good dog," said Jim Dale, giving Lady a hug. You did your job well, girl. Just I know you would." "But what about the other dog?" asked Jim Dale. "He was brave too. Let's see if we can stop the dog catcher before he gets to the pound." Jim Dale and Lady hurried outside. Then they hopped into a taxi and sped after the dog catcher's wagon. When they finally caught up with the wagon, Jim Dale explained to the dog catcher that Tramp didn't belong in the pound. "You really liked this tough guy, don't you?" Jim Dale asked the lady. "Well, why didn't we invite him to come and live with us?" he added. Lady smiled at Tramp. Then she should waggle her tail to let Jim Dale know she thought this was a splendid idea. It took some getting used to, but Tramp grew to love being a part of the family. Jim Dale and Darling grew to love him too. It wasn't long before he had a collar named Tag of his own. When the Christmas Eve rolled around again, and Lady and her Tramp and some very special presents under the tree, not one, not two, not even three, but 4 adorable puppies of her very own. Yep. You know, I think it's about, there was 2 dogs named Tramp. It was a stray dog. And Lady was a spaniel, was a cocker spaniel dog. It's something you probably might be familiar with Lady and the Tramp back in her childhood, yes. And it's about it really. And thank you ever so much for listening to me when I read to you guys. So if you haven't already, you can always subscribe to my channel to hear its notification just down below this video, and you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's always appreciated. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thank you very much, and have a splendid day, guys.